If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives are up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures. And look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said?
It seemed like just another coffee drinking, news scrolling day the morning of a controversy until I noticed something. I promise you that the headlines weren't complimentary at all. But this time the name Sunny Host wasn't for her critical views on The View, but rather for her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin. Folks, it's a blockbuster, not just a case. To ensure you don't miss any of the plot twists in this Hollywood-scale scandal, please hit the like button and subscribe before we get into the action. Accusations of insurance fraud, kickbacks, and waiting to be connected to a massive RICO lawsuit with 180 defendants put orthopedic surgeon Dr. Hostin and his business, orthopedics and sports medicine, at the center of maelstrom.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The RICO Act was created to fight organized crime, which includes gangsters, mobsters, and other dubious enterprises. But instead of the mafia, the plot now centers on physicians, surgeons, and medical facilities. The lawsuit alleges that Dr. Holon and others were part of a scheme to exploit the healthcare system by accepting kickbacks for performing unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for procedures that may not have even happened. The courtroom drama is more akin to Grey's Anatomy, but with fraud on the side. Imagine this patient having surgery, with insurance companies paying the cost and money being traded at the hospital like a high-stakes game of poker.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's
The juicy part is here. Doctors who are accused of receiving financial incentive for doing or suggesting arthroscopic surgeries, minimally invasive joint procedures, are the specific focus of the complaint. Although these procedures seem morally correct on the surface, the lawsuit claims that some of them were totally unneeded. Were these patients merely seeking a paycheck, or did they actually require knee or shoulder surgeries? This could be one of the most startling betrayals, making soap opera scandals seem insignificant, if these charges are true. When you trust your doctor and then find out that you were just a pawn in a financial game, that is the kind of betrayal that causes physical pain.
It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the...
It's similar to purchasing a steak only to get tofu instead. But let's be honest, insurance companies aren't exactly spotless either. They've been charged with underpaying physicians, rejecting claims, and doing all in their power to avoid paying. The key question is whether Adam is genuinely attempting to uncover a huge healthcare scam, or if this is only a last-ditch effort by a failing corporation to shift the responsibility elsewhere. AF, the insurance provider for American Transit, is on the opposing side of this dispute. The complainant alleges that millions of dollars were stolen from them.
Revenue lawsuit obtained by Page Six. The orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers.
Dr. Host's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, didn't mince words when he called the action a last-ditch effort by a company on the verge of bankruptcy and criticized it as a futile attempt by an addict to recoup their losses. His defense turned the attention to Arctic and made them appear to be the real villains. When you are being attacked, it is a common legal strategy to turn the tables on your accuser. Trust me, this keeps the courtroom drama intense. But hold on, there's even more. King and a media critic on the Joe Rogan show, when Rogan criticized The View for what he saw as their blatant hypocrisy, he didn't mince words. He went to great lengths to condemn the show for being simply stupid, reminding everyone of how Sunny Hostin used to act perfect while likely aware of her husband's dubious actions. You might still struggle to get 3 digits, he said, even if you average out The View host's IQs.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
Harsh maybe, but Sunny, Dr. Hostin's wife, has remained unusually silent while he is defending his reputation in court. On The View, Sunny typically takes on controversy head-on, so why is she supporting her husband during his scandal? She might be awaiting instruction from her solicitors on what to say. Some fans think she is keeping quiet to prevent becoming the next target, while others are thinking that she is defending her reputation. The worst aspect is that Dr. Hostin is one of 180 defendants named in this complaint, along with other physicians, medical facilities, and even hospitals. Her silence, in any event, talks loudly. If the allegations are accurate, a vast network of corruption may be exploiting flaws in the healthcare system to steal millions of dollars, making this one of the largest medical fraud cases in recent history.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance.
With doctors and insurance corporations putting profits ahead of people's trust and money seemingly taking precedence over patient care, the key question is how much faith we actually have in the healthcare system. It's similar to a heist film, except that these thieves are stealing insurance premiums rather than from banks. Furthermore, keep in mind that the ADA is only making things worse if they are using this case as a smokescreen to conceal their own financial mess. Untangling the complex web that is this entire situation will not be easy at this time. Although Dr. Hostin has not been found guilty, these are only accusations. The court battle is anticipated to be a spectacle. Since both sides are getting ready to throw everything at each other, all we can do for the time being is watch and attempt to separate fact from fiction, regardless of Dr. Hostin's guilt or innocence. The disturbing fact of the insurance and healthcare sectors are already being brought to light by this case. This issue is far from done, so don't give up. We'll be here, sipping pop, watching every new discovery unfold like the courtroom drama it is supposed to be. To ensure you don't miss a second, please like and subscribe if you liked today's video. The next one will see you